Hey guys, what's up? Roger here, and welcome to 10 Mile Creations. So today we've just got some orders to process, so we're going to go through printing and packing and kind of daily operations of a small 3D print business, but also some new product development. A friend of mine came to me with a need, and I developed a product for that need, and typically that's my best-selling items. When someone comes to me with a specific need and I design that for them, I then in turn take that product to market, and that always turns out to be one of my best-selling items. So stay tuned. We're going to go through. I won't do the whole design, but we'll do first prototype. We'll do the necessary modifications for round 2, and I believe that will be our final product after that. All right, stay tuned. Got all the necessary materials for today loaded up. I am limiting the amount of colors that I'm making available. Early on, I tried to offer a bunch of colors, and now I'm realizing that it's better for me economically producing the product to only offer in 1 or 2 colors, and that all those colors I offer, not that many, do people choose those color options anyway. So in slot 1, we've got black PETG, slot 2, PLA Basic, and then slot 4 we'll be using today too. That is red PETG. And I've got 2 orders to fill, which means I have to print and pack them and try to get them out today. One is in red and another one is in black. Unfortunately, this is one of the problems with having one printer. I'm just kind of stuck waiting. I have to wait till this print completes before I can do my next one to fill my orders. So in the meantime, Little Mountain Maker, if you're not subscribed to him, jump on YouTube and subscribe to him. Does basically the same thing I do. He's just, we'll say a little bit more far ahead, like a little more along than I am. I'm too new, and he's pretty well established at this point. So you can see that Glue and Caddy primer is just starting in that red PETG. It's going to be a minute, so we just have to wait, unfortunately. So I have to print out another one of these to get this packed and shipped, and maybe I should have done that first. I don't know. Bamboo was nice enough to send me the hot end for my brand new A1, but unfortunately they did not send me the printer yet. So yep, we're just waiting. Single printer life. I've got my invoices and my shipping labels all printed out. Those are ready to go. So I am literally just waiting for the prints to complete before we can get them packed up and shipped out. friend of mine that does some fishing, and he asked me to create a product for him, which I imagine is probably available already on the internet, but I enjoy taking on a little project. So he wanted a unit that he could attach to his boat where he could store his pliers and some other things. And so I came up with a design, and then because the intent was 3D printing, we had to take some special considerations. So if this was a single piece unit, you can imagine, if I assemble it here, there'd really be no way to print this where it would print as a single piece. So we had to split it. And the best way, because I love to print anything that's facing my client, I love to print face down on the textured bed just because it gives it that nice finish. So I wanted to print this down, but obviously this also could not print like this without a ton of supports. It wouldn't make sense. So the easiest way to solve this problem was to split it and then create a lap joint, which I don't even know if that'll show you. There it is. Just create a simple lap joint. You can see there. And this is all PETG because it will be exposed to being outside, being in the heat, getting wet. So we want to make sure it's a durable material for him. Now, interestingly, I gave myself about 3/10 clearance, 3/10 of a millimeter of clearance, and I'm shocked that it's actually a little bit wiggly. I figured it would be a pretty firm fit at 3/10 in PETG. Didn't shrink as much as I expected it to. Fairly accurate. So I think moving forward, I may go to 0.2. This is a prototype. And another great thing about this modularity is that if I decide these holes are not big enough, I can go in and modify it, and all I have to do is reprint this top piece. I can actually add 1/10 of a millimeter to the lap joint. That way it tightens it up, just as long as I don't glue everything together. You know, that base obviously can have multiple different top pieces. And if I decide to design different configurations, so maybe 2 plier hangers or more hook hangers across the front, whatever I decide to do, I can do that on this top plate. That way I don't have to redesign this base. Theoretically, if I had more models, all I would have to do is print these bases, and then for a different model, you're just reprinting the top piece. So here we are back in Fusion 360, and I just went ahead and did make a couple of small changes. Added the holes, and that way a screwdriver can just be fed through the unit to screw the unit in. Otherwise, he would be trying to screw it in at an angle, which obviously probably wouldn't work great. So adding those pass-through holes will work, and they really won't change the operation of the unit at all. I went ahead and did offset the I didn't offset this one. I actually offset the lid, but I did offset these walls by 1 millimeter, or not 1 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter, just to tighten that up a little bit. It was a little bit loose. I do want a little bit of a gap, but I don't want a ton. And let's just take a look. We always do analysis. Take a look here, and we can see now the gap is a good bit tighter than it was. But we want to leave a little bit, because what's going to happen here is when we apply our CA glue, we'll probably apply it on this face. And then when we join them together, if there's too much glue, there's really nowhere for it to squish. You know, it's going to come out. So what we want to do is apply just enough that we'll get a little bit of a squish, and it'll actually fill that cavity with glue and glue those two pieces together. And then I did modify these plier holders to be just a little bit larger, just in case the pliers have like bolts on the side to hold them together. Sometimes when you're trying to pass down through, if it has bolts, some do, some don't. I don't know what his tools look like, so I just have to assume for the worst case scenario. As long as this width is smaller than the spread of his handles when they're open, it won't really matter. It'll go down in anyway. So everything is good there. So I just need a re-export of the top piece, and then we can reprint that, and it should be good. We've got our fishing box done. So let's take a look at that, and we'll see how that turned out. When we went back into CAD, we looked and we realized that I didn't give myself 0.3, but only 0.2. And then I reduced that to 0.1. So let's see. Oh, that's just beautiful. Look at that. It's firm. So 0.1 of a millimeter is a nice firm fit. We'll be able to use some medium CA on that and get that fixed up. And then I do have pliers here myself. These are my pliers, and you can see they hang in there perfectly. But I'm not sure what type of pliers specifically he's using, if they're spring or not, and how big they are. So we'll know better when I send the product to him and he actually tests it. He can report back whether it is what he wanted it to be. But prototype 2, and I consider this a finished product. The fit is nice and tight. I think there's enough clearance for the pliers. I did not reprint the base, but we did add those holes in the front. That way a screwdriver can pass through. So just a thin line of CA on the inside. Drop this on, let it set up, and you have a finished product. Now, whether I'll bring that to market or whether anyone else will be interested in it, well, you just don't know until you try. And that's one of the reasons why I love developing my own products, because my only investment is time. I invest time to create a product, and if that product doesn't sell, then the only thing I'm out is time. If I buy STLs, then if I buy the STL or subscribe to someone's Patreon and then those products don't sell, then I'm just out the money that I'm paying to have access to those products. So for me, being a maker, developing my own products is the way to go. Now, you can't develop products as quickly as you can buy them to sell them, so unfortunately, it is a slower process. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's the better route. All right, guys, well, that's it for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yes, if you caught that, I did too, and I cut the box open yet again and put the second item in. I forgot to put it in the box. But yeah, so she's getting both her items, no problem. Got it under control, If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and click the little bell, whatever, all that stuff I'm supposed to say. Make sure you heard that. And then, yes, as far as the CAD design stuff, you notice it was toward the end of the video. And the reason being is looking at the statistics on my videos, CAD design in general does not do well, not at all. So try to put that stuff toward the end for you guys that are interested in the CAD design part of things, but are willing to watch the whole video. I'm just putting that in toward the end so you guys can pick up on that. And for those that don't want to watch the whole video, we'll just put all the exciting stuff in the beginning. All right, guys, we'll catch you later.